Welcome! This is my demo reel for game sound design. In this video, I'm going to show you how I planned, designed, and implemented in Wwise every sound asset that is being played. The game that you are about to see is called Cube, and with the help of Lehmann from School of Video Game Audio, I learned how to think logically in order to efficiently implement the sound assets and to enhance the dramatic impact through sound design techniques. All the sounds used in the level were taken from original recordings with the Zoom H5, synthesized with Massive, and also taken from my own personal library that I have been enlarging with unique sounds for quite some time. The idea is to create an original soundscape that shows my unique signature as a sound designer. In order to keep organized and create a better workflow for the almost 300 assets that the level needed, it was necessary to keep track of the sounds in a practical way. For this, I created a personal spreadsheet which helped me to keep organized, keep track of the progress, and do annotations on every sound I needed. For the footsteps, I used a switch container that switched according to the material. For each material, I divided the footsteps into right and left. Each right and each left step triggers a sequence of toe and heel, each with 4 variations included in a random container. So the result is a separation between right and left foot, and each step is subdivided into heel and toe, which is played in a sequence. This gives the possibility to create many more combinations and play the steps in a much more dynamic way. In order to create a better immersive experience, the sounds for the weapons were designed in a way to make them sound bigger than they actually are. Each weapon was divided into different frequency layers in order to be able to have more control of the spectral distribution and hence accomplish a richer sound. I also thought about how the different mechanical parts worked and sounded. Let's hear some examples. For the rocket launcher, the sound was thought as a train of actions, where the rocket comes out of the tube and makes its trajectory till it explodes. There is a blend container, which includes the sound of a PVC tube being tapped, and this is followed by a swoosh. The other blend container includes an air compressor sound recorded from the doors closing of the tube in Paris and the electronic mechanism for the reload sound. Mixed with that, 3 edited layers of a bank's coin counter machine is used as the rotating mechanism of the weapon. For the simple sound of the electronic recharge, I chose to use Massive synthesizer. For the chain gun, I separated the shot in 4 layers. A shot sound, a distortion of that shot sound to simulate the player's ears, a low end to make it sound bigger, and the mechanism sound. 5 different variations of each sound were exported and included in random containers. The shot is followed immediately with a sound of falling bullet shells. These shells are sequenced in groups of 2 or 3 sounds to perceive the random bouncing. On top of that, the shells are randomized in pitch, volume, and delay. For the monster sounds, I used my voice and also coached my friends to get the best raw material possible, so I could later combine with different animal sounds. The voices and animals were heavily edited, including EQ, pitch shift, and distortion. The different designs were thought for when the monster received pain, would die, or emit a grunt. The items were created with different personal library sounds and combined in some cases with sounds created from virtual synthesizers. Ducking is applied for when the radio communications or the player are speaking. It also is slightly applied when the weapons are firing. I chose not to include much music in order to focus on the sound design, but nevertheless, I play with evolving ambient sounds and music that would alert the player of the proximity of monsters. There is also a music piece that gradually gets louder as the monster's quantity decreases, so it creates tension and announces that the level is coming to an end. These two music parameters are modified by a real-time parameter control in Wwise. This is linked to the individual elements of the music that is playing. Triggers are also planted along the level, and as we overlap them, they play different sounds such as radio communications or ambient noises like monsters growling or screaming from far away. To enable certain triggers in the level, different lines of code were added to the level map file. As the player's health drops below 30 and decreases, a real-time parameter control increases the sound of the breathing and the heartbeats, not only in volume but also in speed. The same real-time parameter control also controls the volume of a high-pitched ringing that appears evident when the health of the player is near zero. On top of that, all the sounds, apart from those just mentioned, are muffled with a low-pass filter to simulate the dizziness and loss of senses. When the ammo runs out, a beeping from the gun alerts the player. There is also a voice alert that says, "I need ammo," included in the event.
I need ammo.
But in order to avoid fast repetitions, the probability of playing is reduced to a 40%. When the health is above 30, the real-time parameter control will mute the voice alert. But when it drops below 30, the real-time parameter control gives the original value of the volume. When the player dives underwater, the state player in water changes to true. When this happens, a low-pass filter is applied to the SFX bus, which contains all the sounds except for the music and dialogue. The state also raises the volume of a water ambient sound. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more of my work, you can visit my website.